confused, not sure who's leading this gang. Fucking idiots.
Is directly in the right of way. Now, we're willing, more than willing, we're happy to pay you 3 times the worth of this land.
I said I wouldn't sell, Mr. Williams. How many times I got to repeat it?
It's not a matter of... Mrs. Sager, please, I wish you'd lower that carbine. It's making me nervous.
He was an inmate like the rest of us. He was useful during the jailbreak, but now, he's just another coward. He wants us to leave the vault and hand our asses to the NCR, as if they treat us like human beings. A beautiful thing. Heard there was an abandoned vault along this mountain ridge, and that the wildlife here had teeth big enough to keep the NCR away. It's a fucking death trap around here. Fiends swarm all over Vault 3 in the east, and there are fucking death claws south of that at Quarry Junction. If you're looking for humans, the cons are north of us, and there's an NCR base at McCarran past Vault 3. Supposedly, there are muties to the southeast. Like raiders, but worse. These guys are messed up on every damn chem there is. You can spot them by the horn skulls they wear as hats. The NCR has been mining there for a while, but now it's full of death claws. Don't go there unless you want a quick, bloody death. I've heard the muties there are different, completely insane, and supposedly they use some kind of invisibility technology. I'd stay away. It's the main base for the NCR and a breeding ground for oppression in the name of patriotic bullshit. Do humanity a favor and blow it up. Their republic is a joke. They're a bunch of tyrants led by an even greater tyrant, that idiot Kimball. They think they have the right to annex every inch of dirt in the West and force their system on every man, woman, and child.
I've known her a long time.
What do you...
I knew her husband.
He was an in...
Now, what you've got to understand about Libby is, Mr. Williams, that Libby isn't an ordinary woman.
That's sure.
No, Libby...
Some of the computers still work, but the only files...
She's kind of like the West. I mean, but that...
There's...
She's got
You go
her
clear
ways,
them out for us.
and her ways are free.
Have you wiped out those geckos yet?
Well, I'll tell you this, Marshal. In the railroad business,
If-
when we come to a mountain, if we can't go around it, we blast right through it.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure I'd try that with Libby if I were...
Marshal, I've tried talking to her. I've sent her letters. I've tried everything.
Now there's
No
a
moving.
fine-looking
Yeah, I
woman.
know,
Just
but
needs
you've
to
got to
ditch
keep in
the
mind
road.
that Libby's lived there for almost a quarter of a century.
I've got a job to do.
Look,
You eyeballing
can't you
me?
go around her land?
Oh, fine, fine. A straight line track
Any
for a few
lawman
hundred
that comes
miles,
after
then all of
me
a
won't
sudden
have
it
it
juts
easy.
out for a few little acres, and then back to another straight line for another 100 miles.
I would break it up a little, wouldn't it?
Marshal, I want you to get out there with this order.
Never
Order to
gets old
vacate.
when something blows up.
Every time we send her a check, she sends it right back. So here's a check to go with the order.
Look, Mr. Williams, she's not going to move. I know that woman, and she's not going to move.
That's a United States government order, and you're the United States Marshal.
Oh, please, Mr. Williams, don't remind me of my duties. There's some things I don't like about this job. Eviction and seizure. Chester.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
Eviction. Federal order.
Libby Sager, yes, sir.
You weren't listening at the door, were you, Chester?
Oh, no, sir. My, absolutely not, Mr. Dillon. It's just I am cursed with wonderful ears. Comes from so many nights out hunting.
Never
Why,
gets
my
old
whole
when
family
something
Yeah,
blows
goes.
up.
all right, Chester.
Mr. Dillon, isn't there some way the railroad can go around that?
Have you wiped out those geckos yet?
Surely hate to see that woman.
He's made me a villain
What do you-
when I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Williams, I guess we all feel a little like that right now. Come on, Chester.
this here...
Now, hold it, Libby.
That's
Saw
enough of
you
that.
through the curtains.
Well, I saw you peeking.
Coward little railroad has to bring the marshal.
Mr. Williams
I
asked
had
me
to, Mrs. Sager. I told you before that...
Hot-bellied little railroad had to get the marshal.
Now, Libby... Libby, I want you to put that carbine down, and I want you to act like a human being. Huh?
Don't you start anything with me, that kind of talk. Now, Matt Dillon, I knew you too long for that kind of talk.
Libby, what would Howard have said if he could see you standing there holding a carbine on me?
You can say what you got to say right here and right now. Just leave my poor dead husband out of this.
You think he'd stand in the way of progress the way you are?
Progress? That big, loud, steaming, dirty thing a-howling by, black smoke bringing in the trash from back east? You call that progress?
I'll make a deal with you, Libby. You put down your gun, and I'll send Mr. Williams and Chester back to town, huh?
I got nothing to say to you, Marshal.
Chester.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
Here, take my gun, Chester. And this.
What are you doing, Mr. Dillon? You took off your star.
I'll take it back to the office with you and take Mr. Williams with you, too. Libby and I are going to talk.
Yes. Come on, Mr. Williams.
You can't hold back the times, Mrs. Sager.
Get him off here,
You
boy!
better go, Mr. Williams.
I'll see you back in town, Marshal.
Well, Libby, aren't you going to ask me yet?
I told you, Marshal.
Them name's still Matt, Libby. No star. See? Now can I come in?
Well, I suppose.
Thank you. Well, looks just about the same.
Yeah, it's going to stay that way. Nothing's going to come steaming through this sitting room. Sit down, man.
Libby. I'd give anything not to have to give you this order, but... Here.
Well, Howard took me out here to this piece of land. He staked it out here because it had a creek for the cattle and some good grassland. We just got married. Took me out here and stood me right about where you're standing now. And he said, Libby, this is ours. Yours and mine. He built this place, man. Every board he split with his own hands. Every board of it, every nail in it.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know. The 3 days and the 3 nights, just the two of us. Behind that upsot wagon, caught out there in the attack. Oh, they'd have burned the house down. But we held on. All of them Indians, a-hooping and a-hollering. Wasn't until the second day they got him.
Yeah.
Oh, that arrow must have been terrible inside him. Oh! It was like something in my own chest, man, I swear. It couldn't have hurt no more. I held him in my arms. I was crying. I couldn't help it. And he looked like a little boy. I swear it seemed like he wasn't a man anymore. It's just a little boy in my arms there. He said, Libby, you gotta hang on to the land, Libby. It's all there is. I said, I know it, Howard. He said, don't let nobody drive you off here.
Trouble.
I said,
Whew, I'm glad
Howard.
that's over.
I won't. And I didn't. I stayed there, no food, no water. 2 days more. Still waiting. But they'd gone. And the place was still mine.
Libby.
Now, Do you think I'm going to get off of this land now? Just because of a little piece of paper? Matt, you go on back. Tell that railroad I'm here for good. Dead or alive. Next time, you better keep your guns.
Marshal? What'd she say, Marshal? Talk didn't do any good, did it? I knew it wouldn't.
Mr. Williams, you did your job. Now, why don't you go back to the hotel and we'll get in touch with you, huh?
Sure. Marshal,
Yeah,
you sure you don't need me for anything?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, hello, Mr. Williams.
I'm glad that's over.
Where's he going, Mr. Dillon?
I sent him back to the hotel, Chester. Hand me that chamois there, will you?
Yes, sir. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Dillon,
What?
if she don't leave peaceable, you gonna carry her out?
Well, we'll see what happens, Chester.
I mean, if she don't come out peaceable.
Look, Chester, that railroad's going to be here for a long time. A long time. Now, there are going to be a lot of people dependent on it for beef and for everything else. And Libby's just one person. Just one person.
One person, yes, sir.
That's right.
That's right, Mr. Dillon. Mr. Dillon, I've never seen you like this before.
Chester, I can't do it.
All right. You gave her 10 days to give you an answer, Mr. Dillon. And the order come down almost a month ago. You did everything you could, if you asked me. You oughtn't to feel bad. You just got to do it, that's all.
Never hurt anybody. Paid all her bills. Now we got to run her off our land.
Well, it wasn't nobody's fault that Howard Sager homesteaded on what was going to be a railroad track. Wasn't his fault, nor her fault, nor your fault. Wasn't even the railroad's fault.
I know you're right, Chester. You're right.
And Mr. Dillon, she'll have enough money she can live anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Motherfucker!
Anywhere except where
I'm
she
glad
really
that's
wants to live.
Well,
Yeah, I know, Chester. Well, it's almost 10:30. We gave her till noon today. I guess we better get back.
guess we better.
Oh, fella,
Oh. Well, sir. Here's the gate.
Go ahead, Chester.
After you, Mr. Dillon.
Matt Dillon?
Oh,
There she is, Mr. Dillon, on the porch. She's got her carbine.
yeah, I see her.
Get off my property!
Libby! Now, we gave you plenty of notice.
Get off my property, Marshal, or I'll shoot. Now, you know me, Matt. I don't just talk.
Libby, you got your check. Now, why don't you...
I'm counting three. You're not starting off this land by the count of three. I'm going to shoot. I swear it, Matt. You're a perfect target now. I'm warning you.
Libby,
One,
why...
2, 3.
big rock over there.
Way over our heads.
Yeah, she meant it that way.
Makes me feel a little silly running cover from a woman.
I got a decent respect for Libby's eye, Chester.
Well, what do we do, Mr. Dillon?
Well,
We can't just stay here forever.
look. Maybe we can sneak up from the other side. You think you could work your way around?
I imagine so.
All right. And Chester.
Now, don't worry, Mr. Dillon. I'm not going to use no gun.
All right. If you can get in the house and get that rifle away from her, I'll just stay out here and try to keep her attention.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck. Libby!
I'm gonna shoot to kill, Matt. Next man tries to get me out of here, shoot to kill.
Hot. That's right, Sam. Here's to you, Williams. Sure.
I must be getting drunk. Even this stuff tastes good.
Sam,
I can't help but admire that woman. But then I'm always the one to boost the underdog.
we gotta start construction on the 18th to keep the schedule. You haven't even had a chance to start surveying.
One woman standing alone against a whole mess of us.
Spikes, crew, rails,
It's inspiring.
ties all creosoted. I'll get bounced, sure.
Let me tell you, Williams, she's one out of a million.
Quite a woman.
Quite a woman.
Yeah.
I said then and I say right now, nobody takes that woman off her land alive. Nobody. She's got more real stuff in her than you and me put together.
You're drunk.
Hanging on to the last breath. Why, it's wonderful.
Woman like that can't hold back the progress of a whole nation.
Absolutely not.
Nobody can hold back the time.
Time and tide wait for no man.
If everybody felt like her, there wouldn't be any railroads. There wouldn't be any progress whatsoever.
You need a drink.
Maybe I do. Sam, I don't think that marshal's doing a thing out there.
Minion of the law.
Strikes me as sentimental, that marshal.
Oh, I don't know.
Point is, there's a job to do. I think we ought to go out there and prod him.
Well, you said he told you to stay in the hotel room.
I know.
No, that's what you said.
Well,
if you want to go down there, it's fine with me, but that's what you told me he said.
well, how does it look, the railroad representative taking the afternoon off at a time like this, huh? Hand him a holster.
Huh?
Teach you to mess with.
What do you want guns for?
I'll tell you what I think. I think the woman's a little demented holding herself up that way. Her husband's death, years alone in that house. She's crazy.
Fanatic.
Yeah.
Here.
Thanks. Fully loaded.
She's a wonderful woman, though.
Dead shot with that rifle of hers. I'm not going out there unprotected.
I don't blame you a bit. I think I'll take my holster, too. Hey,
What?
one for the road, huh?
No more.
One for Libby? Oh, what do you say?
All right. One for Libby. To Libby Sager.
The spirit of the Old West.
Hey!
Right.
Hey, you know they'll write a song about her? How the track was built over her soul? And they'll write a song about us, too.
Oh, stop it. You're drunk. How's it going, Marshal?
Didn't I tell you to stay back at the hotel?
I brought Sam with me. Thought maybe you could use some help. Sam,
Huh? Hello, Marshal.
you don't mind if we just stick around, do you?
Well, stay back and keep quiet.
Where's your friend?
Trying to sneak in the back. Only trouble is...
Marshal,
Right here, Libby.
I got my eye on that sidekick of yours. You either call him back or I'm going to have to shoot him.
Chester!
Oh, coming, Mr. Dillon. I'm sorry, Mr. Dillon.
No, it's all right, Chester. It just didn't work, that's all.
I declare I can't figure how she spotted me. You don't know how careful
Yeah, I
was
know.
walking.
Looks like there's only one thing to do. Let's go in after her.
Now you're talking.
Fine.
Now, you two just stay right where you are, and no guns, you understand?
Sure.
Libby! Libby, we're coming in! Now put your carbine up, Libby.
Come on, Marshal, just come on. I'm ready.
Now, let's go, Chester, and stay close to the ground.
We can weave over to that rock over there, then behind the barn, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Close, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, all right, run. You all right, Chester?
Just scared, that's all.
Why, that crazy fool.
What's the matter, Mr.
That
Dillon?
surveyor. Sam, leave that rifle alone!
I'm just covering for you, Marshal.
She hit him, Mr. Dillon.
Oh, he's gonna shoot back. Sam!
Mr. Dillon. He got her, Mr. Dillon.
Come on, Chester. Libby?
I got a shot, Marshal.
It wasn't him, Miss Sager.
Lift up her head, Chester.
It's better this way. Matt.